That's like a whole...
Hello and welcome back to Untitled-2 podcast. My name is Connor.
My name is Ash.
So...
Yes.
A couple of times in the past,
Yeah.
I've been talking about my progress towards a platinum trophy and how you've already got yours because it takes me a little bit longer because I don't have as much time to game. And then once or twice there's been a glitch, a bug, like in God of War and Senua's Sacrifice.
Just once or twice.
That's meant I've had to go through and do it all again. And I've platted a game recently, my most recent plat, which is called Swords of Ditto, which you talked about on one of the recent podcasts.
Uh-huh.
And the game was very, very, very buggy when I was playing it. I got down to the point where I had one trophy left, and then they released a patch which fixed loads of bugs and made the game easier by letting you keep your shit when you start a new cycle.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point out that, once again, a trophy took me a lot longer than it's going to take you because
I don't think
the
you
game
should count
wasn't
this
really
one.
complete.
I don't think you should count this one because God of War, that bug was very unexpected with how polished the game was.
Yeah.
There was not many bugs I experienced in the game, and if it were, it was usually just like a small visual bug or nothing that really broke the game or took my attention away from what I was doing.
Yeah.
And for you to get a bug like that, then I'd say that's a fair tally on your little fucking chart that you've got. But Swords of Ditto is so very bugged. It was pretty much the chances of you running into a bug that would break a game was, or even a few bugs that'll break a game was very high. I've run into a few bugs that have pissed me off, loading up your save and all your money's fucking disappeared and you had like 5k and you're like
quite a lot.
And stuff like that. I've ran into a few bugs where I'd be using the fucking kazoo thing going between one area to another.
That never happened to me except when I was playing with you.
Yeah, and the whole game would just crawl at like 2 frames a minute.
Yeah.
And I had to back out with that, you know. There's been a few bugs that have pissed me off with it, but I've always stuck with it. I feel like you get very ragey about stuff.
That when because I had something happen to me where basically the last boss.
Yeah.
Usually you'd expect a boss to give you hints as to how you're supposed to beat them, and this boss kept talking about the floor breaking and cracking, and I was like, oh well, obviously once the floor's gone he's fucked. So I just waited it out, avoided his attacks, got rid of the ads that he was spawning until the ground broke. But then when the ground broke, that was it was over.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck. And there's something you have to do 5 times to be able to fight the final boss in Swords of Ditto, and there's lights that indicate that you've done that. And I went to check the lights, and they were off. So that was it for me. I was like, oh my god, I'm so sick of this game because it's been fucking me over for so long. Like, a few runs, I'd spawn it, and every dungeon, the enemies were 2 levels higher than me because of a buff that was on there. It was just ridiculous. And I kept having bugs where, physical damage is halved, XP is halved, enemy damage is doubled, poison damage is doubled, and it was like, fucking hell, stop raping me, it's ridiculous.
It's my experience that everything I fight is 2 or 3 levels higher than me.
Yeah, I didn't realise it until near the end, but I did, but I forgot. But there's difficulties in this, so you're probably on a harder difficulty.
Probably. But yeah, it's fun when I'll just attack someone and it'll go down in one hit and I'm like, that was fucking easy, and I'll just see the little tiny health and it's the same fucking level as me.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why. Everything else is 2 levels higher and whatnot.
Yeah.
But still, I don't think you should count that one because it was buggy as fuck.
It was very buggy. But I did really enjoy it.
Yeah. It's a fun game.
I got really pissed off when I thought I'd have to do it all again, but it turned out I didn't have to do it all again, and I got the plat in one day. But yeah, I was just because it kept happening so much that I'd have some trouble with a game, and I'd have to put in more time than there was necessary to get the plat. It doesn't bother me normally, but when I have to do the same thing all over again for the one trophy, I got so sick of that, and I was completely off trophy hunting and didn't play any games for 3 or 4 days. I was just like, well, what's the point?
Yeah. I don't know.
Every time I looked in my like game library, I was like looking at the trophy list for that instead of just thinking, "Oh, I'm going to enjoy this game." I was like, "Oh, how easy is the trophy list?"
Yeah.
So I just thought I had to get out of that like obsession with platinum trophies to start enjoying gaming again.
I don't know. I still feel like your boiling point is like much lower than mine. Like that wouldn't piss me off. There's so many games I've played that have got a massive groundbreaking bloody bug in it.
The fact that it was buggy that pissed me off. It was the fact
you had to repeat it
because I don't have that much time to play games, and I was looking forward to moving on to another game. And it's such a shame to have to leave a game when you've nearly got a plat, but it wants like another 20 hours from you just to get that last trophy.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I want to play something else. Like,
well, like there's
I
games.
only get to game like 2 or 3 times a week. Like, I don't want to use it all playing this sort of Ditto, which is buggy all the time.
Sounds like a you problem, that, mate. You need to do something to change that situation.
I'm just saying that's what pissed me off.
Yeah. But like if you played games every day, you know, like a healthy person does.
What an ideal world.
But yeah, I don't know. I still feel like in general you do have your rage ceiling is much lower than mine.
Fair.
So I don't know. I just chalked it off as you being a little poos.
Fair enough.
And I was like, I even said like, mate, take some time off, cool down, go back to it. And you were like, nah, mate, fuck the game, fuck the developers and that. And I was like...
When I went on to it, I only went on because I had like an hour, maybe less, to play it. And I was like, well, there's not enough time to like fully get into Mad Max or something. So I'll just do a little bit of progress on Swords of Ditto. But then I noticed if I just did one more run, I could fight that boss again. And I was like, oh, fuck it, might as well.
Yeah. But like...
otherwise, I would have just left it completely.
Yeah, but I knew, right, if you cooled down and came back, you'd be like, yeah, I can do this. You're on tilt. That's what it was.
Yeah. Well, it was annoying.
I'm sure it was annoying, mate, but like fucking, you just gotta calm down and come back later. If I stopped playing games that pissed me off so much, mate, I'd never play games.
What games piss you off?
Fucking God of War Ascension, mate. That elevator level.
Oh, with the flying and burrowing monsters.
Yeah, and you're on this little tiny pedestal that's raising up and you got to fight a million fucking things. And I beat it before the day before they patched it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've told the story on the podcast before, but like, you don't understand how angry I was, mate. Like, I almost broke a controller.
Yeah, it gets really annoying.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Just, when something pisses you off, I always just take a break and come back at it later. Because like, if you try and persevere when you're on tilt, you get worse and worse, mate, and then you get even angrier, and it's like just a downward spiral.
Luckily, it doesn't happen that often. It's only when I get proper cheated out of shit.
Remember Destiny?
Yeah, I know. Jesus! Sombra! Yeah. Well, I get a lot angrier on multiplayer games because online multiplayer games, because often it just feels like you're being cheated.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's just the balancing of characters and weapons, or if it's just, like, some massively unfairly overpowered person against you, and it's like, well, shouldn't you have matchmaking in place for this shit?
Yeah, like, there was that time where the Destiny servers were just fucked, mate. And even if you had the best connection in the world, the Crucible was just laggy as shit, and you'd shoot someone with, like, something that's like a one-shot kill, and the run around for like 30 seconds, kill 2 of your teammates, and then they'd die, and you're like, what? But while we're on the subject of games, mate, have you heard about Microsoft's new controller?
Yeah, I saw that. It's pretty cool, man.
I forgot what they called it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like modular, isn't it? They've straight up ripped off the nunchuck though. It's like not even remotely different.
The nunchuck?
Yeah, it's got loads of like extra things you can add to it, like a mouth controller and a one-handed joystick.
There's like the base unit that's got like 2 disc jockey things.
It's like a DJ desk.
And then like like you said, there's loads of peripherals so that you can get like big buttons and things that you like strap to your chest so you can hit it with your hand and whatnot.
Yeah.
And like fucking all sorts. And I do see the nunchuck thing there.
It's just straight up.
That is exactly a nunchuck. But man, even if it is a nunchuck and they've ripped the design off, I don't think fucking Nintendo would care, man. It's for the betterment of gamers that have like got a disability or they've gone through something. And have you seen all the plugs on the back, mate? There's so many things you can hook in.
Yeah, and they've put these like bevel fucking icons along the top
Yeah.
that tell you what's behind it, so you don't have to lift it up and look behind it
Yeah,
to put the.
But I think
cables
it's really cool. Like, if I got into an awful accident and I lost the use of my arms or something, and Sony didn't come out with this, I'd be like, fuck it, I'll buy an Xbox,
Yeah.
so just so I can play games.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. I think it's a dick move that it's an Xbox exclusive. Man.
Yeah, they could have made that for like everyone.
They could just made it a universal controller.
They're just like, that's it. We've got nothing left. We'll get the monopoly on the disabled kids.
Yeah. But I think it's cool, man. Did you see the heartwarming video they posted about it?
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know.
that's cool.
I wonder, like, I hope they're going to be good guys about it and make it cheap.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I saw it, because I was like, this must cost a fortune.
Because I bet the base controller's like 60 quid.
Yeah.
Like all of the controllers are, and I hope
And then all the peripherals will be like 20 quid each.
I hope they're not like that. I hope they're a bit cheaper, like maybe £15, £10 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like you won't need all of them. At least I hope someone doesn't, because that is one sad existence.
Fucking hell. There'll be some pro gamers out there who figure out a way to get better by using all of them.
That's another thing I was thinking about as well. Like what, like people are going to be using it to like fucking speed run like Bloodborne and like Dark Souls and shit like that. And I was just thinking about like, what if it's a really good way for people to cheat in like Overwatch and stuff like that?
Yeah, innit?
Or like any other shooter game where I feel like you can just macro things to it. But yeah, I hope they're going to be good guys and make it cheap. Because even though people are handy-capable, they still want to play games.
Yeah. On the subject of games still. Oh, I was just leaning away from the mic for no reason.
Breathing.
Fucking hell. What? That sentence was so incoherent, it was ridiculous. I recently got Parappa the Rapper, thinking, oh, that'll be an easy plat.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to go through the whole game and get a good rating the whole time. You know, do what it says on screen.
Mm-hmm.
On, you know, the hardest difficulty, do all that. Easy, done, like first run, fine. But then when you've got to go through and get the cool rating, and to get the cool rating, you're not supposed to do what's on screen at all.
Yeah.
You've got to make shit up in time, and the fucking timing on the actual game itself is off. You don't press. It's not just me because I know I've got bad timing.
Yeah.
But you don't press the button when you know, like Dance Dance Revolution, like there's an icon and it moves to what button you need to press, and that enlarges you press it.
Yeah.
You don't do it when it's enlarged and when your icon is on top of the button. You've got to wait a little bit after because the actual game's slower than the fucking graphics they've put on it.
Right.
So not only is it a complete guessing game in the first place, but then you've got to try and make shit up on beat when the beat is completely off.
Wow. I don't know.
It's so hard to get. I've got cool rating on the first one, and me and my girlfriend must have spent like an hour swapping the controller for the second one to try and get a cool rating. And we couldn't do it, so we were watching videos on YouTube of people doing it. In the first 2 bars, they got cool rating, and the instructor fucked off, and they could do what they want. And it's like, how? How are you doing that? Like, what the fuck? Like, we'd get like 90 score in the first bit, and that would be good for us. But people would be doing like 300 score in just the first 2 bars. Unreal.
I don't know. I feel like maybe I'd be alright with it.
Oh, you should definitely try it while you're here.
I can just download it in my place, mate. And
Yeah, but I want to see you do it.
what if I'm really bad at it and I embarrass myself? Mr. Genius fucking virtuoso over here. I'm like shit at the fucking rhythm game.
Well, the rhythm game's shit. That'd be why.
Did you hear about the new Call of Duty game?
I don't know. I saw that they try to use Roman numerals wrong.
Did they?
Is it Black Ops 4?
Black Ops 4, yeah.
Yeah, you know, because Black Ops 2 had the 2 orange lines, Black Ops 3 had 3 orange lines. So they were like, oh, I know, for Black Ops 4, we'll do 4 orange lines, but that's not how Roman numerals work.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what they were going for. Were they going for that?
Well, probably not, but it's still like...
Right, yeah.
Because the second one's actually got serifs on it as well, to like show that it is a Roman numeral sort of thing, instead of just like military stripes.
I thought they were just slicing up a shield.
Well, yeah, now it's a shield shape in it. So.
Yeah. But yeah, have you heard about the sacking off single player? There's no campaign in it at all.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Not that I care. I haven't played Call of Duty game since
Yeah.
Black Ops 1.
Well, Black Ops 1 was a really good story. I liked it. They were a bit risky. Like, they didn't just do the whole, like, I'm a one-man soldier, I'm going to take down the whole fucking bad guys. And, you know, it was you end up in a fucking prisoner war camp. And there was that guy there called Reznov, wasn't there? And
I had never played the story
mate,
mode.
right. So,
I only played Combat Training with you, and that was so fun.
so I think it's set in, like, the 60s or something like that.
Yeah.
And you end up in a you know, Viet Cong fucking prisoner of war camp.
Yeah.
With this guy called Reznov. And you end up breaking out with each other. And you get separated.
End up making out with each other.
Breaking out with each other. Like, there's a massive, like, fucking, you know, prison-wide breakout.
Yeah.
You end up getting separated. And you don't know what happened to him. And then, like, you carry on doing the mission stuff. And eventually he pops up and you're like, oh, shit, man. I thought you died. You know, like, glad to see you and whatnot. And so you play through the whole game. And every time he pops up out of nowhere, right? And, like, does things. And you can shoot your teammates, but when you try to shoot him, no happens, right? Really strange. Then it gets to the end, it turns out fucking Reznov died in the breakout.
Sorry about the
And
motorbike sounds, guys.
You've been through this, like, fucking torture to turn you into a sleeper agent, which it's giving you like some sort of fucking split personality type thing.
Sorry, I'm allergic to sleeper agents.
And so yeah, the whole time Reznov died in the initial prison outbreak, and you've been hallucinating and shit, and it was fantastic the way they played it out and whatnot. You didn't realize what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where when you go back and play it again, you notice how he just comes out of nowhere. You talk to him, or you know, whatever, you have your exchange. No one else looks at him or you know, recognizes he's there and stuff. And they try to play it off as he's just like super sneaky, and like he gets in, gets out, and you're like, well, that's why no one saw him. But then like the scenes where like clearly someone should have seen that, right? But it was really good, and I liked Black Ops for that. Really, you know, interesting storyline, and they took a risk. But then, like every other Call of Duty after that was just like, I don't give a shit.
Well, their main focus is definitely multiplayer nowadays, so it makes sense for them to just be like, oh, let's not waste resources on single player.
That's what I thought after, you know, Modern Warfare 2, I think it was. I never played World at War, but I played Modern Warfare 2, and it just wasn't as good as Call of Duty 4, you know, first Modern Warfare. And I had thought that since then, but then Black Ops bloody 1 comes out, or Bops as I like to call it.
Yeah.
And that it blew me away. Because, like, the fourth one you can never beat, mate. I know I say that every time, but that first, like, initial level where, I think the first level is you're on the boat, aren't you? Like, you're storming this boat, and it blows up, and you got to run out of there while it's fucking on fire and jump towards a helicopter. And then the next one, I think, it could be getting his back, you know, backwards. But then the next time, you wake up and you're in some random country. You're getting dragged through the country. You get thrown in a car. You drive around. Everyone's talking a language you don't fucking know.
Oh, I vaguely remember that.
And then you get dragged out of the fucking car. You get slapped onto a pole and you get executed. Public play. And then it's like the game kicks off and you're like, oh mate, dope. Loved it. Plus, this multiplayer was simple and enjoyable. None of this customized kill streak shit.
Yeah,
I don't know. Been talking about games quite a bit.
I don't know, I've got a little bit more to talk about.
What games? Good, because I love games and I'll talk about them all day. Because E3 is around the corner. It might even... What time is this? When does this go out? Like,
I think... I'm not sure. Because I checked our actual E3 episode, which is out the last one we recorded. So the last episode. Unless the one... Never mind. It might not be the last episode, but it'll definitely be the one before it.
I think anyway we should...
Yeah, I checked that is not after E3 and it's before. So
I think once E3's done, we should do an impromptu episode talking about all the cool games and shit like that, and put it out immediately, something, you know.
Yeah.
And not have it not give it a name or a number or anything like that. Because I love E3, and this year I want you to join it with me and follow a bit of the hype, but not too much of the hype.
Well, if I'm at work, I'm not gonna.
No, but when
I definitely will be.
I don't mean stream it. Like sometimes I don't stream it. I just wait for all the trailers at the end.
Yeah.
But like when I talk about games and I send you the links, and I expect you to watch them and give me your feedback, shit like that.
Fair.
Or at the very least, I'll save up all these trailers, and then when I come over to your house to record this episode, you'll watch it. We'll give up, we'll record our fucking things, and then we'll put it out, and everyone will love us, and we'll get super famous.
We'll be everyone's priority when the E3 reviews come around.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3?
You asked me this on the E3 episode, but
yeah, but I mean, like, was it? I don't know if the rumors are getting more and more wild about how it's definitely going to be there or not. But like, I'm a little bit excited for it.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
I'm not gonna lie,
It's
like,
looking cooler and cooler.
I like that I've got a Switch in that. So like I can get in on what's the fucking game coming out now? Smash Bros.
Yeah.
'Cause I missed out on the whole,
Yeah.
the fucking biggest era of it. And so I'm just looking forward to all these games that are coming out now that I never got used to play before. Like, never got to play before, and I'm going to join in.
Well, supposedly there's been a leak as to what the next Pokemon game will be.
Yeah.
Which is apparently like a remake of Pokemon Yellow, where Pikachu used to follow you around. But there's two versions. There's Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah.
So instead of Pikachu, you get an Eevee.
Did you hear the rumor that it's going to be
linked to Pokemon Go?
Yeah, it's going to be like a sequel or something.
Well, they've said sequel to Pokemon Go?
Like a follow-on or something to Pokemon Go.
I heard that they were definitely... they said they were going to try and implement Pokemon Go somehow into the next Pokemon game, so that kind of makes sense, I suppose.
Because I watched I think it was a video, or I read an article, like, when it was just, like, a few weeks ago when, E3 hype started to build up.
Yeah.
And they were all like, the new Pokemon game is allegedly going to be called Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which could be, the Go could be a reference to Pokemon Go. And I was like, yeah, all right. Or it could just be like a popular catchphrase in Pokemon or whatever. I don't fucking know. It's a bit slim, that.
What was I going to say? There's something about the Pokemon games. Oh, yeah. To further confirm this theory, the main director of the Pokemon games keeps posting images of himself on social media, Japanese social media, holding Pikachu and Eevee and stuff.
Yeah. I saw that, and there was something in the background that was the Switch colours or something like that, and people assumed it's something about the Switch when the Pokemon game coming to Switch.
Yeah,
which I hope it does.
I wanted to ask you about the Switch actually. I love the Switch mostly because it means I get to game.
On the go.
On my very long journey to and from work. But lately, I've resorted to playing mobile games because I've just got nothing that I want to play on the Switch.
I don't know. I can't stand mobile games.
I've got so many games for the Switch, but I've played them all to death because there's not that many to get.
Plus, and they're expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, they are ridiculous. But I keep looking constantly, even indie games on the Switch just to see what I'd like to play.
Yeah.
And I just this Hyrule Warriors came out recently, and that's the only one I'm really considering getting. But Fire Emblem Heroes or whatever it was called, which is like Hyrule Warriors but with Fire Emblem characters, it wasn't that great, to be honest. And if Hyrule Warriors is just going to be like that, then maybe I've lost interest.
Yeah. I don't know.
I need this Metroid game soon.
There's a few Switch games that I'm considering getting, but
Xenoblade Chronicles as well, but my god, it will not go down in price at all.
No, the Bayonetta games want those, the Hyrule Warriors. It's just £60 a piece as well, though, mate. It's insane.
I managed to find Xenoblade Chronicles for 30 quid, and it was on that CJ's CD Keys website that I used to get PC games from. But the way they do that is they set you up with an account, buy the game on that account, and then you use the account login details.
Right.
And then you can play it on your other accounts if it's on your Switch. But I don't trust that at all.
No. Neither do I. Not if you can take the account and change the password and protect it. And
plus, the way that they're doing it is
probably illegal.
To buy the game off the store on that account. Anyway, which means how are they profiting? If you're paying half the price of the game on the store,
they expect you to use someone else's account who's already bought the game.
Well, that's
and
even
just
worse.
Paying for rental.
Yeah, no, that's even worse.
It is even worse. I don't know, man. I wish they just made the Switch 100% digital, didn't put a cartridge slot in it at all. Because then they could have put all the games online on their store
and had actual price reductions and sales and stuff.
Decent prices. Because £60 for a little tiny cartridge.
Yeah, but it tastes funny.
It tastes funny. I mean, I get what they're saying. cartridges, like, they've got a massive advantage over optical media because they can load things faster and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like the Switch can't even handle games that like the PlayStation can and stuff, where the games really would need that, speed, speed boost. I looked at because the Wii U uses discs, doesn't it, optical?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
And I looked at the graphics aren't as good on the Wii U for Breath of the Wilds.
No.
But like
It's
keeps
not
up
that
fairly
far,
well.
yeah, exactly.
It keeps up fairly well. So like, it's not even. I don't know. If Sony adopted it and like they put God of War on it, and God of War could have run at 4K 60 frames beautifully, mate, and there's no pop in and shit. There's a huge draw distance because everything can load faster.
Yeah.
That'd be like amazing, and I probably would pay the extra like 20 quid on top of it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not the case. But continuing the topic of games, mate, have you heard about there's a potential Monster Hunter movie in the works?
I know they did like a short anime.
Did they?
Yeah.
I never saw that.
I don't know how old it is, that's why I'm not bothered with it.
At first I was like, do you know what, mate? I don't think that's going to go very well, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I hope this ends up being like a really good Monster Hunter
Who's
movie.
making it though? Is it Japan?
No, it's not Japan.
It's India.
It is India. It's Paul W.S. Anderson, the guy who directed Resident Evil.
What are your thoughts on that?
Resident Evil is a cool camping movie, like to enjoy with a few beers, a few friends.
Yeah.
Order a pizza and just binge watch it, because it's not a great series. It's okay, mediocre-ish, And I feel like the Monster Hunter movie is going to be the same. They want to cast Mila Jovovich as well in it, and I'm like, she's not going to do good in that movie. Like, they need a thick girl.
Yeah, she's got a bit of hench.
She's got a bit of hench, mate. And I hope to God, if they do start making it, they don't westernise everything, because like the appeal of Monster Hunter is you've got this huge ass fucking sword on your back.
Yeah.
That probably weighs a ton, mate.
Yeah.
And like slamming that down on top of a monster feels so satisfying, And
yeah.
if they end up with just these little tiny, piddly little swords and just prod,
little tiny like actual hammers.
yeah, and they go up and just bop a little monster on the
Little
head
mallets.
and it dies, and it's like, fucking what? I want like, if they make it, I want like the movie to be split up into battles, and I want like each battle to be like maybe half an hour long or something. It's got to be amazing.
And then like 20 minutes of 3 people stood around waiting for one guy to sort out his fucking decorations.
You know how it's gonna be, right? It's gonna be a group of people go to this, continent with some monsters on it. They'll look around for tracks. They'll probably hunting something else, and then this apex predator comes and like threatens to fucking destroy the camp or something like that. So then the whole movie is about them tracking and trying to fight this monster, and then they defeat at the end. But I don't want that. I want them to be like, oh, this looks like a cool monster. Let's kill it. 20-minute fight scene. Like 5-minute tracking. Oh, look, a new monster. 20-minute fight scene. Like slay monster and monster, and then they fight a fucking elder dragon or something at the end. That's what I want.
That would be cool.
And I want it to be gory as fuck, mate. They need a big budget for that. A huge budget.
There's no way you could fit as much as you'd need to have into like film format.
I know, right? It'd have to be like a series.
Like they could only do like at least 5 or 6 monsters.
All right.
Unless they had to fight like 3 at once.
New way it could work, right? They do it like a TV show. 10 episodes a season, like an hour and a half each episode. But each episode has to have the budget of an Avengers movie.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Because like if they don't see, if there's like, oh man, if they waste all the money on hiring fucking A-class actors like fucking Brad Pitt's in it or something stupid, and the half the budget's gone to him, and they've only got a few million for some CGI, and like you see a Rathalos flying in the sky, and like he's not casting a shadow, there's no light bouncing off him and shit like that, and the animation's very basic. I'd be like, nah mate, you fucked it.
Yeah. What would happen if Japan did it?
There's also, speaking of Japan, thanks for that segue,
You're welcome.
there's a Monster Hunter bloody bar in Japan. Have you heard that?
Yeah, there's plenty.
There's one in Tokyo that's like quite popular and whatnot, but it looks fucking amazing. I want to go over
they
there.
are really cool.
Like they've got weapons on the walls and stuff. There's got like a little miniature palico
Yeah.
that just stands there. But yeah, I think this. There's probably Monster Hunter ones based like all around Japan, but I think this one is like based off the new Monster Hunter World.
Right. Okay.
So they've got like loads. They've got like the Monster Hunter World weapons and shit like that there, and
yeah.
it looks very Monster Hunter World. But I think you can play Monster Hunter World while you're in there as well. Like they've got PlayStation set up and whatnot.
Ah, that's cool. But why would you want to play on someone else's account?
You probably sign into your account. I think. I don't know.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Who knows?
Maybe they have some like sci-fi ass like PlayStation cards you can carry around with
Probably
you.
just
You just swipe your account
Stream
into an
your
arcade.
PlayStation to it or something. But I'd love to go there, you know. And I hope like the food. I mean, it's Japan. I'm guessing the food is themed towards the Monster Hunter World game as well. That's dope. But yeah, Monster Hunter.
Just want to talk quickly about another game that I attempted to plat, but then got through it once, and I was like, I don't know how Ash put up with this for so long. Which is Beyond Two Souls.
Yep.
Oh wow! Like the story's not that bad. Like I'll give him that. It would have hurt a lot less if the controls weren't so fucking awful. Why is everything just joysticks? And like when you're playing as Aiden, who's like this soul that follows Ellen Page around.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you if you need to push or pull or whatever with the joysticks. You just got to whip them around for a bit until something starts vibrating, and you're like, okay, I'll do that. And like the combat as well, it's like swipe the joystick towards the side of the screen that Ellen Page is moving. But sometimes she'll literally be moving from the center like outwards. And it's like, what the fuck do you want me to do?
Yeah. No, yeah, that's the thing. Like, move the joystick towards the follow her movement basically.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if she's kicking left, swipe left.
But if she's dodging, like one half of her will be going backwards, but another half will be going forwards, and you can't tell if she's trying to dodge or attack. And so it's like, well, what do you want me to do?
How did you get to the Navajo?
I finished it once.
So you're on the Navajo ranch, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you got a big fucking thing in the sky is attacking you.
Yeah.
There's a point where like she leaps forward, but she's like leaping into a roll. Do you press right? Do you press down?
Yeah.
You know, who fucking knows? It was. I get what they were going for, but it wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of the story at all, mate. Like
some bits of it were like fucking out, like that bit in fucking Mumbai or whatever, wherever it was.
we have to stealth through places.
Yeah, it was just so boring, and I didn't care about the little kid that was following me around. And
yeah, but I don't know.
Navajo as well was just a bit of a botch.
Did you?
It was
you
like,
didn't,
fucking hell, this could be quicker.
Yeah. Did you play through chronologically or?
I did the remix mode, whatever that is.
So it was like chronologically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Which means that some of the tutorials are in scenes that come after the part where you need to know the tutorial to do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it was blocking or countering or something like that.
Right.
Like I wasn't taught how to do that.
Yeah.
No, there's something you can do, like basically the screen like freezes for a bit and it like you can do something.
They should have made dynamic
get out of it,
tutorials for that.
But yeah, there is a tutorial for it. But you've already been asked to do it like 4 times before you get there. So
that's the thing about the way that they've made the game. Like it was very linear, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the game would have been great if it was like open world, like fucking GTA or something like that, with a few of the mechanics from like the Quantic Dream stuff, and you could like you know she might say to herself, right, we need to go to this place so we can do this and that. But then you might decide like, well, I don't want to progress the story yet. I'm gonna go explore the city, and you might find something cool to do and whatnot.
Yeah, there was some cool sections of the story, like when she was homeless. That was a really cool section. I really liked that. I liked the characters and everything.
I don't know. First time through, I played it in non-chronologically or chronological order. So fuck, it was just messed up. You go from her playing, as a kid, doing one of the first. I don't think it's the first experiment. It might have been. You sit on the table. Yeah. You gotta go switch to Aiden, go into the next room and fuck some shit up and whatnot.
Scare the fuck out of that poor woman.
Right. So that was the first part, the thing you play, I think. Then you go from there immediately to when she's finished the CI training and all that shit, and she's got a fucking breaking that guy's, fucking safe and whatnot. And I'm like, you start getting, you're like, oh man, this is gonna be a cool game. Like I'm gonna fuck shit up as Aiden. Every chance I get, I'm gonna fuck around with him, see what I can do. And going from that chapter straight into this boring ass chapter where she's part of the CIA, and it's like it just ripped you out of the moment so fucking hard.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not well done.
And then I played through on chronological order, and I was like, mate, this makes so much sense now.
Yeah, it was a lot better.
It feels better. Damage had already been done.
In order to obviously play it, I need to play it through at least 2 more times, and one of those times I need to do it in duo mode, and it's like,
why 2 more times?
There's 2 that you have to do fully, I think.
Is there?
And then, like 4 or 5, or maybe like 10 more endings to get, but you can do them from like the last chapter sort of thing. So
yeah,
it's a bit ridiculous.
I'm sure you only need to do 2, like once in duo mode maybe, and then another playthrough or something like that for some reason.
Well, apparently there's one way you have to go through and be a cunt as Aiden the whole time as well.
Yeah, but you can do that through chapter select. I'm sure of it.
Oh, well, fair enough. It's not what he said on the roadmap I was reading, but I mean, if you did it, then
I think that's what I did. Yeah, I don't know. I played it in like I think I did like 3 playthroughs, and I started doing chapter selects and stuff, and I was just like, because I fucked myself up. I played it in duo mode at the beginning.
Yeah.
In chronological order, it would have been great. Or non-chronological order. Maybe that's the trophies. You got to do it in chronological and then non-chronological or whatever. I don't fucking know. I applied it, and I'm so glad I did, because I'm never going to play it again.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to play it, to be honest. Like, I'm only like 30%.
I mean, it's a very unremarkable game. A lot of things are wrong with it, but it could have been better. And do you know what's really sad? Your sister really wants to play it. She's like hyped to fuck to play it.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh no, you're gonna hate the crap out of it, you shit.
She could just watch someone on YouTube.
I think she did or something like that, and she liked the story or whatnot. And I'm like, it's not good.
Yeah, the controls really bad.
She went to a friend's house, and obviously it was on PlayStation Plus, so
yeah,
she might have played it. I've not asked her about it since. But yeah, although I'm looking forward to Detroit Become Human.
I'm not. Like, I want to try it. It looks cool. I've seen the trailers and stuff. But I've played Heavy Rain.
Dude,
and I could barely get through that. It was so boring.
Heavy Rain is...
And, what was it? Beyond Two Souls were just... Meh.
I'll give you Beyond Two Souls. It was a bit meh. But, like, Heavy Rain is, like, it's unpolished. I'll give you that. It's like an unpolished gem, right? It's a good game. Like, there's a few moments where it's like, oh, I wish this wasn't in the game. Particularly the part where the father, and I think she's called Madison, she's like a reporter or something like that. Yeah. They like have sex, but like it's really awkward, like uncanny valley models, like just smashing the lips together. And I'm like, oh, we didn't need to see that. But the game is very good. I like it. It was a good story and whatnot, and it was, it was intriguing. And I think people give it a bad rep.
Well, I hope you enjoy Detroit, because then I'll decide to play it probably.
I don't know. From what I've seen, it looks good. I feel like I enjoyed Beyond Two Souls. I enjoyed Heavy Rain. I enjoyed Indigo Prophecy or Fahrenheit, whichever region you're playing it in. Before that, so I feel like I'm going to enjoy Detroit Become Human, even if there's some glaring flaws and stuff like that.
Yeah,
because I do enjoy those games. Just some of them. The worst one so far is Beyond Two Souls, and I just feel like I'll give him a chance. Maybe Detroit, like, he gets on track and whatnot, or he's learned his lesson about stuff.
Didn't they do another one? Another game? Did they do that one that was Xbox exclusive?
I don't think so. I'm sure they've always worked for Sony.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Wait, Xbox exclusive? What are you talking about?
Either it was by Quantic Dream, or the name had something to do with Quantum.
Alright, Quantum Break or something like that.
Yeah, I think that was it.
No, I don't think they did that.
I think that's where the confusion came
from. So they did Omicron, which I never played. It was for Dreamcast and fucking Windows. And then they did Fahrenheit.
Which you've played.
Which I played. That was on PlayStation 2, Xbox, and Windows. But then Heavy Rain came out and it was PlayStation 3 only. Beyond Two Souls, PlayStation 3 only.
Yeah.
And Detroit, PlayStation 4 only. So Sony must have like snapped them up so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Are they the only people that do games like that?
It's like
it's not
a better way that Telltale does games.
It's not point and click.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, they call it an interactive movie, don't they? Like, straight up.
which is pretentious as fuck. I feel like they need to strike more of a balance between gamifying stuff and, movie-like shit.
Yeah.
Cinematic experiences. And I hope they've done that in Detroit Become Human. I am looking forward to it, if I do say so, But moving on from Quantic Dream, who have only ever done 5 games. Weird. Have you seen that discount Nintendo Labo thing?
No.
Someone made, there's like a little spider thing, and it like crawls on the ground or something like that, and it's just, someone made a cheap cardboard cutout version of that, and I don't know if it worked or not. I didn't really look at it, but that's dope because fuck paying those prices for a bit of cardboard.
Yeah. We still got to get the game as well, haven't you? Unless
Yeah.
the game's actually free with the cardboard. Maybe you make the cartridge out of cardboard.
Is that how it works? Like you got to scan it or something like that? The cardboard is the coordinate for the game, or I don't know. I'm not going to find out either. I'm not going to pay that price.
No.
Did you see what's her name, Ariana Grande? Her and was it Jimmy Fallon or something like that? They did one of her songs on Nintendo Labo instruments.
Haha. What?
Have you not seen it?
No, is it good?
It's alright.
Is it bad because the song wasn't good?
The song's not good. It's a pop song, so like clearly it's overproduced in some areas, not produced enough in other areas.
Yeah.
Just thin as fuck. Like someone hands you like, "Yo, do you want a pizza, mate?" And you're like, "Yeah," and they give you like, it's just a slice of bread with some tomato sauce on it and a bit of cheese. And you're like, "Fuck you." So yeah, the song's not great, but like they're also just Nintendo Labo instruments, so they're not like, they're not like, great sounding.
Yeah.
But it's cool, I suppose, that they did it.
Yeah, they can do it.
I want to know how it works though, like because the one guy's playing guitar, but like the fretboard's fucking cardboard, no strings on it. You got to strum because the screen is touch screen, isn't it? You strum that.
Right, yeah.
But like, how is the switching chords? Like, I think he's got one of the little fucking Joy-Cons up here, and he's like, maybe he's pressing a button, like he's pressing one of the directional buttons for different chords. But then you've only got like 4 chords you can set up, so which is perfect for pop music.
That's true.
Oh, I'd love to see him try to do like some prog music, progressive fucking metal or something, because like they do loads of chords.
Yeah,
at least all of them. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I don't know if I didn't know if you saw it or not, but
no, I don't tend to see.
I'll have to show you after this, mate.
Since I've been going on Reddit though, I'm like well plugged into the world. I don't understand how I survived without knowing so much about the world before.
Really?
No, I'm completely bullshit.
Because I feel like it was the opposite. When I was going on Reddit like almost every day, it felt like I was closing myself off into this small universe of Reddit.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And
like I started finding Reddit things funny. Like I'll be scrolling through the comments and some guy will comment something that's a reference to a movie, then another guy will comment on that to another reference from another movie and shit, and it just ends up in this massive fucking circle jerk of, "Oh guys, look at us with our pop culture references," and I'm like, that started being really funny to me, and I was like, I need to get off this fucking place, man. It's awful. And because I'm games are my life, it's no biggie. I was on iGaming a lot.
I'm so sick of iGaming. I might unsubscribe.
And like, someone would be like, "Oh, look at this new game that's just come out. It looks pretty cool, right?" And then I'd look, first comments like, "It's not Witcher 3 though, is it?" And I'm like,
yeah, I know.
Shut up. The game's got nothing to do with it.
Lately, I don't know if it's been the whole time, but since I've been on there, everyone keeps posting like a picture of the Nintendo Switch box and be like, "Oh, I had a hard day, so my girlfriend got me this."
Yeah.
Or like
that was
a
thing.
PS4 Pro with God of War. "Oh, I had a hard day, so my mum got me this because my dog died," and it's like, well, okay.
That's like, hard gaming is very circle jerky.
Yeah.
Like some guy will be like, "Oh, I saw a little fucking, what do they call them? Like yard sale." I think they call them that.
Yeah.
And I picked up this gem and it's like an old SNES or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, cool. Everyone's got a SNES.
Yeah.
There's just stuff like that. Like, "Oh, does anyone else remember this?" "No, just me." "Okay, then." It's like just It's like an advertisement in an old magazine for an old classic game, and it's like, well, someone's gonna fucking remember it, mate. It's not just you.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Just
pisses me off.
People being like, "Oh, look at how I'm into gaming culture," and everyone's like, "You're on a subreddit full of people into gaming culture."
Yeah, it's mental. There is some cool stuff on there sometimes and whatnot, but.
So let me take you back in time from modern games to very, very old games. Board games, in fact. I've recently got, because my girlfriend went to York, a set of Viking chess, which is called Hnefatafl.
Yeah.
And it's weird. So instead of being one army on one side and one army on the other, you've got the white pieces go in the centre inside the castle, and they have a king. And then the brown pieces.
Did Vikings have kings?
I don't know why. Like they adapted it. I think they didn't have kings, but they would storm castles. So the whole point was that they were the army around the edges.
Right.
But so you get all these this army around the edges. So in the centre, you've only got 13 pieces.
Right.
And around the edges, you've got 24.
Okay.
Which already seems massively unfair, but it's pretty cool. So unlike chess, you don't take a piece by moving into it in the appropriate way.
Okay.
You have to sandwich it. You need one of your pieces either side of the piece you want to take, and then you can take that piece.
Okay.
So you have to constantly be trying to surround enemies to take them. But to take the king, which is how the...
Do you have to be perfectly parallel, or cause if you go into a corner, no one can get behind you on that corner,
Well, no, you have to be either side. So it has to be like a sandwich. You can't
full on sandwich. So if you go in a corner, there's a white piece. You go into a corner of the board. Obviously,
yeah, you can't just have somebody on that that unprotected side of you. You've got to be top and bottom if they're against the edge, sort of thing.
So if you're in the very bottom corner, you can't be fucked with.
No, but you can't get in the corners as a brown piece. Only the king can go in the corner.
Right.
Because that's how you win.
Right.
As the king, if you get your king as the castle, if you get the king to the corner, that's how you win. That's his escape
Because you
route.
can't be sandwiched. And that's probably why you win.
You can be sandwiched, but you have to be on all four sides of the king, which is how the brown pieces win.
Right.
So if you're the attacking forces, you're trying to get the king, and if you're the defending forces, you're trying to get rid of pieces trying to attack the king and help move the king to one of the escape points in the corners.
Can you sandwich diagonally?
No.
Right. So if you get to the corner, you've won the game because you can't be sandwiched.
Well, no, because there's a marking on the board that says this is the escape route. Well, it says that in the rules.
Well, that's
well, yeah. Well, okay,
that's
yeah.
why
I get
you
what you
win
mean
because you can't be
probably
sandwiched.
Yeah.
That's why that's the way to win. Right. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Carry on with the rest of the rules or how fun the game is.
So obviously you can defend the corners as the attacking force if you move your pieces onto either side of the corner piece, because you can't move diagonally. You can only move horizontally. With all the pieces move like a castle in chess.
Okay.
So you can block all entry points to that escape route. But if you're sandwiched against the escape route and a white piece, it can take you.
All right.
Because the escape point counts as a white piece. So you're just throwing pieces away, basically defending that point to stop the king from getting there. It's really, really interesting. Because when you're playing chess, you're both playing the same game.
Yeah.
But when you're playing Hnefatafl, you're both playing completely different strategies and completely different game. Like, you could play one game, and then switch teams, and all of a sudden you're playing something else.
So it's like a old Viking Overwatch.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Without the heroes, isn't it?
Yeah.
God. Is there a Genji piece that's never on point?
Yeah. It's a bit like a Battlefront, because you've got all the stormtroopers and Wookiees and shit, and then you've got the hero Jedi that turns up.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to give that a game at some point.
Yeah. I wanted to do it last night, but obviously we were monster hunting until the early hours. And we'll probably be doing that again tonight, so...
Yeah, I'm up for that. I'm always up for that.
So I'm going to move away from games now.
Go for it.
I think. One last thing about games, actually.
Mm-hmm.
A while ago I mentioned that RuneScape was coming to mobile.
Yeah.
They're currently beta testing.
Right.
We're so close to being able to play RuneScape on the bus.
That's a dangerous game. That's so dangerous. Don't do it, man. I'm gonna stop playing Monster Hunter and I'll be like, yo, mate, I'm level 99 in woodcutting. I've got like a cool 5 mil already. I'm looking forward to my next 50 mil.
I remember when we tried, like we got back into RuneScape again for a bit, but then we were like, I need more from this. I need a reason to be playing.
Yeah.
So our end game was to earn enough money to sell it for real life money. But then we learned what the exchange rate is and how much time it take us just to earn like 100 quid, and we were like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah. I really wanted to. I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast, but when I used to play RuneScape a lot religiously, at one point they updated it so there was the Grand Exchange.
Yeah.
And I had a few friends who I used to play with a lot. And no idea where in the world they came from. I didn't even fucking know the personal, their own first names. I just called them by the names. Didn't even give a shit who they were. And we started a recruitment for a clan, because you could have clans and stuff like. And we got like 1,000 people or something to join our clan, like the clan chat. And we were talking about how we were gonna game the system. We was like, right, start buying up these items, right? Cheap items that you could buy like thousands and thousands of them, because they're like 5 GP each or something. And we was like, just buy loads of them, as much as you can, put all your money in it. Wait for a few days and we'll send you a message when it reaches its peak. Yeah. And you just sell everything you've got, right? And then you'll make shit tons of money. And so there was like 1,000 people buying like these little fire runes or whatever. Just fucking as many as you can, stacks and stacks of them. We were selling them to them because we'd farmed a shit ton of them and we were just selling them. And it bumped the, because of supply and demand, it bumped the price up so much that we were selling them for like 100 GP per fucking rune. It's usually like 5 or something like that. And we got hella rich, mate. And then once we finished selling everything and the price had dropped a bit, we told them all, like, go sell your shit. And then they all put this fucking everything on it, but no one were buying them anymore. So the demand just plummeted as fucking right down. And no one made any money. They just gave all the money away, basically. But like me and my friends, we were fucking rich as fuck. And then Jagex found out and banned us, so... But it was a fun time.
Fucking Jagex, I forgot that's what they were called.
Yeah, Jackovs.
So yeah, I'm gonna move away from games now.
Go for it.
So
what are we talking about? The royal wedding?
How are we talking about the royal wedding? That fucking bell tower in the centre of where we live. Yeah. Rang for like 15 minutes straight. And that is the only reason why I know that the royals are now wedded. Otherwise, I would have no clue.
I honestly don't give a shit, mate.
I really don't. Honestly, we do it for America. It's the only reason we do it. We earn so much money from Americans who are crazy about the idea of royals. Nobody in England cares about the royals.
Yeah, I was looking at like popular news stories, like looking for something cool that I want to, read and talk about. But literally, the BBC News whole page is just royal wedding this, royal wedding that. Like,
fuck that, man.
We're
already talking about it too much. So
yeah, fuck the royals.
I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast, but a while ago. Yeah. I probably wouldn't have, because I think we found out about it like 2 years ago. We hadn't done a podcast for 2 years. Yeah. But so there's 3 types of chocolate, right? Milk chocolate, white chocolate, dark chocolate, and now there's ruby chocolate.
All right.
Oh, you didn't hear about this?
I did not hear about this.
So there's a new type of chocolate. It was discovered about 2 years ago. Okay. Called ruby chocolate.
I'm going to Google it while you talk about this.
Google it. It's pink, basically.
Oh, I've seen pink chocolate. I didn't know it was called ruby chocolate, though. And I thought it was just like strawberry flavoured shit.
The first manufacturers to like mass produce commercial ruby chocolate is Nestle, and they've done a ruby Kit Kat.
Yeah, I see that.
And Kit Kat is the perfect platform to try this shit out, because Kit Kats in Japan are mental. Like they are the company that pushes new flavours and shit.
Yeah, they have loads of crazy flavours of Kit Kat in Japan, don't they?
So I've had some.
You've had some ruby chocolate? Yeah. Was it expensive? Did you buy it?
It was like 90p for a 4-bar Kit Kat.
Huh. What's it like for a regular Kit Kat with milk chocolate?
I don't know. But so I'll just tell you how it tastes, basically. Yeah. So it's got like a berry hint, and I feel like maybe Kit Kat added that because I don't think you would naturally get that, and just because it's pink.
I don't. There's some things in food taste like have different flavors, even though they shouldn't be. Like there's cheeses that taste nutty, and it's like
Red Leicester, mate. I love Red Leicester.
How do you get a cheese that tastes like a nut? You know.
Yeah.
There's things like berries that taste like of other things and stuff like that. So maybe the cocoa bean that it comes from just has a natural like berry flavor to it.
Yeah, well maybe, but the first thing I noticed about it was that it tasted pink.
Right.
Like it just like if I shut my eyes and ate it, I'd be able to tell you it was pink.
Yeah.
It's got a strong flavour. Like it's very sweet.
Apparently, people describe it as sweet yet sour.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I wouldn't say it's sour. I don't know where people are getting that.
Little to none of the cocoa flavour traditionally associated.
Yeah, exactly. There's no bitterness at all. It's completely free of bitterness. And usually you only really get that with like a really milky chocolate or a white chocolate.
Yeah.
But white chocolate's got this like weird manufactured taste about it. Like it doesn't taste natural at all. And you don't really get that with Ruby.
It depends how cheap your white chocolate is.
Well, yeah, I've been to like corner shops where they've had those white jazzles, and it's like eating baking powder or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm trying to look for like how it's made, but production methods are being kept a trade secret, and the use of genetic modification denied by Barry Callebaut, I believe his name is. So like, it must be actual. Like, if it's not genetically modifying it, like, how are they doing it? Someone must have figured it out, right?
Yeah. Well, it is actually a ruby cocoa bean.
Apparently, cocoa beans are cocoa beans. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how is it ruby? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
But I did see a documentary on chocolate and how the whole process they go through making it. And the way they do it is they get the beans out of these pods and trees. I don't know how the fucking tree is. And then they put in these like wooden baskets, right? And it's like a step, or at least this guy had when he had his setup. He had it all like set up as like step system. So you put the new ones in the top, and then you leave it for like a few weeks or whatever, and they get really fucking hot because of the fermentation process.
Yeah.
Then you just open up one of the back parts and you slide it all down in the next step, and then you go through that until it's fully fermented. And you all sell it, and then you go to the factory, you look at them all and find out which ones are rotten, which ones are good to use. And so, but I remember there was a stage where the beans were looking kind of pink. And I think it was before like the fully fermented. So it's probably unfermented cocoa beans, which is apparently the popular speculation right now.
Huh.
Which is probably why it doesn't taste so much of chocolate.
Yeah. But I wonder if maybe it doesn't taste that good and they've had to like add that like berry hint that it's got. Because I thought it was a psychological association with the colour, but the actual packet of the Kit Kat says that it's like a berry flavour.
I think chocolate, when it's in its cocoa bean form, doesn't taste anything like chocolate.
Yeah. It's like really
I think it's the fermentation that gives it the more chocolatey flavour.
Yeah.
And then obviously when you get the bean, you split it, don't you? And you get the powder and the fat, and you mix them together a bit. And like the more of the powder, the bitter it is and stuff. So I don't know. Like maybe it's just they've only fermented it for a few days or not enough. I don't know. But it does say here as well that the beans become red or purple after treating them with an acid and then defatting them with petroleum ether. I don't know.
I don't know either, but your face was funny.
Yeah. Apparently, the variety was not available for sale to consume until 19th of January 2018 when it was introduced in a new flavour of Kit Kat bar in... Can you guess?
2018.
No, in an area, a country.
Oh, England?
Nope.
America?
Japan and South Korea.
Oh, right, of course.
Of course it was introduced in Japan.
Fucking hell. What a moron I am.
Yeah. That's cool. I want to try it out. Ruby chocolate.
How do you feel about making phone calls?
I fucking hate phone calls.
I hate phone calls as well.
Like, I'm not bad at them. I can phone call and I'll talk and
it's
whatnot.
Just more like I can keep doing what I'm doing and like text you or something. But if you call me, I've got to just stop everything and fucking sit there and have a full conversation. It's like, fucking, we could spread this conversation over time and still be more productive than we're being right now.
Fair enough, you could put it on speaker, but some conversations you don't want people hearing and stuff.
Well, like if my boss rings me, I'm not going to...
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like, oh, couldn't you email me so I could deal with this and do the work that you're currently on the phone asking me to do?
Yeah. I don't know. I used to like make a minimum of like 2 phone calls a year.
Yeah.
And that was brilliant. Now
But now you have to do it for your job.
making a lot of phone calls, and it does me head in because there's always a disconnect. Audio quality sucks. It's just fucking awful.
Yeah, there's no evolution in audio quality.
And like sometimes it's hard to get your point across.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a disconnect. The fact that you're hearing it through this little small device, you don't really like reading, you know, like the fucking intention of each word properly.
Well, there's been so many advancements in like messaging in the past few years, but calling someone hasn't changed at all.
Innit? Like someone could be all like, yo, I need you to do this and that, and like, is that good? Can you get it done before this time? And you don't have to say, yeah, mate, I can do that. You can just send an emoji of a thumbs up, and they'll be like, brilliant.
Yeah.
Like,
Plus, then you've got a record of the conversation if you need to refer back to the instructions.
Yeah. I hate when someone's like, yo, I called you up last week. I'm like, yeah, but I've dealt with like literally 200 people since then. I don't know what you said.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I'm not a fan of phone calls. Like, I fucking hate them. I'll talk to family when they call me up and they want to talk to say something, but then there's always that awkward phase where they're all like, bye, right, bye, and I'm like, bye, phone down.
Yeah.
But they're like, I can still hear them as I'm putting the phone down, like, bye, and I'm like, shut up, fucking phone down quick.
So how would you like it if your phone
made
phone calls for you? Yeah, you knew where this
fucking
was
love
going.
it. I sent you the video.
Yeah, you did. I watched it walking through Sainsbury's because you sent me it as I was like getting my lunch, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I leaned to Joseph and I was like, "Have you seen this?" And he was like, how have I not told you about this yet?"
When I first saw it, right, I was like, the guy was on stage. He started talking. I was like, I don't want to sit through a fucking seminar, so I just skipped through, and there was a phone call going on. And then I was like, I don't understand it. So I went down a bit, and it said something about an AI, and I was like, one of those wasn't real. What the fuck? So I went up and listened to it again. Same point.
Once you know that it's an AI, though, you can really pick out.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
When somebody doesn't understand what they've said and they repeat themselves, there's no change in tone at all. It's just the exact same.
Yeah, yeah. But like I was like, oh mate, one was an AI. So I went up, scrubbed the video back to the point where I started watching it again. I was like, which one's the AI? I wasn't even looking at the screen. I was just listening, like, but it was hard to determine. So I looked back further and I was like, okay, so the one on the left's the fucking AI.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like you said, once you know it's an AI, you can pick out like the hairdresser the video where she makes a hairdresser appointment for a woman's haircut, which is all like, I think she says PM, the same. Like she says 2 PM, and then they ask her to say it again, and she repeats it the exact same way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I found myself proper grinning when she went, and I'm like, oh my god, that's such a human thing to do.
and the like at the start of the video, it's amazing when they start going, "Hi," and stuff like that. But then eventually, like you get halfway into the second phone call, and you're like, this guy's saying way too much. Like, shit, like I get it makes you seem more human, but you're starting to come off a little weird.
It's cool how like the synthetic voice is like getting so good that it's almost indistinguishable. It's good that they can understand, like, if you did that shit with Alexa and you put a lot of ums and stuff like that in what you're asking her, she'd be like,
that'd be weird.
She'd be trying to decipher each
so
word, and she won't understand what the fuck he's saying, and she'd be like, sorry, I don't know what you said. But if Alexa was upgraded to this, and you just naturally have a lot of ums and buts in your dialogue, she'd be able to read it all perfectly, and she'd be able to tell you what the fuck she said, and she'll probably say it a few times as well.
If she's like loading Google search results, she's like,
it's just loading.
Yeah, that was all weird.
Like, thank you.
I'm having a lot of trouble with Alexa at the moment because, like, when she's not disconnecting from my shitty internet, she'll flash red and go, "Sorry, I'm having some trouble understanding you right now," and I'm like, "Well, what? Am I fucking talking French or something?"
Your apartment is very loud. Like.
It is. But she's been really good for that. Like, you can play back recordings, can't you? And, like, I'll be stood in the kitchen, and even when I'm listening to it, I can just faintly hear myself going, Alexa.
Yeah.
But she'll pick it up.
But, like, when I hang out here for an extended period of time and I go back home, I get out of the car, and I'm like, it's so quiet.
I never have that. Like, I go to people's houses that are quiet. Like, my mum lives in the middle of a fucking field somewhere, and it's so quiet there except from the sheep. Yeah. And I never have that. I never think, oh my god, it's so quiet, and I don't get back here and go, oh fuck, it's really loud. But
I don't know.
everybody else does, so I don't know.
Well, there's always something strange going on in my ears about how I can pick things off that are like, you know, a mile away and whatnot. But I don't know. When I first come here, it doesn't really like sink in how loud it is. It's just like, oh, middle of town, and then it becomes less noticeable. But when I go home, I'm just like, mate, how loud is that fucking apartment? It's silly.
Yeah.
And it's
laptop's getting well warm. It's starting to blow at me. It is fucking warm in this room, to be fair.
Mate, I'm pretty sure I've like melded to the fucking
leather ass chair that you said.
This is a good stress test though. If the microphone can pick up these fans.
Well, if it does, then we'll have to find something else to do.
Yeah.
You might have to start turning around again.
Might have to start recording it on an iPad.
I did look into that because I've got an iPad, but it's not
great.
Not a good idea.
I feel like it'd be alright. If anything, it'll pick up on your mic, and yours is pointed away from the fan.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're here to discuss. Carry on.
I've just got a few more points, but I'm guessing we're getting to the end of the episode now.
Yeah. We can end anytime, man.
Alright, cool. I'll just quick fire then.
Do it.
Rick and Morty's been renewed for 70 more episodes.
It has.
I'm wondering if the creators whose names have left me, Dan Harmon and
Justin Roiland.
I'm hoping that they feel as sort of uncomfortable as we do about the fan base now, because like it's really putting me off. Like I'll see a Rick and Morty joke and I won't laugh anymore because it's just super cringy.
They seem like you chill.
Yeah, they
guys.
seem like reasonable people.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they're going to try and evolve the fan base somehow. Like
I don't think
there are ways to subtly do that. When writing with the show, I think the show needs to evolve a little bit to sort of shake off that.
No, I don't think it's up to them to do that. I think they should just keep on doing what they're doing. We get funnier and funnier, you know. Don't go backwards like everything else does.
Well, yeah, I think if they continue to develop the characters and, you know, get funnier and funnier, as you said, then we'll all be okay. But if they if they're like, okay, we've got a decent fan base now, let's just keep appeasing them with every move we make, then the show's just going to get cringier and cringier. And
I don't think they should do fan service.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think it's up to them to try and mature their own audience. The audience should do that themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
You know? But, yeah, like you said, I'm looking forward to it. I do really love the show. It's funny. You know, it's our kind of humour. You know, it's just a good 20 minutes, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why people got a fucking rag on it every now and then. But it's the fan base I can't deal with, so I just don't interact with them, and then I can go and enjoy my own shit. And every now and then, you'll be referencing something from a show that you think's funny, and then you'll go online and like a million other people have done their own take on it and stuff like that, and you're like, ruined a good joke that I was hoping to use.
So speaking of like sort of dark, semi-dark humour,
yes,
I really like nihilism jokes.
Yeah. So
just things that are funny to me but depressing to normal people.
Yeah.
But you just can't do that in a public setting. It's something I want to do quite a lot. I will make sort of a nihilist joke or put myself down for the sake of making us both laugh or something. But every now and then I'll forget that most people don't do that, and I'll like do it at work. And it's so awkward. The other day, something came on Spotify and it was like something about show us what you've got to live for or something like that.
Yeah.
Something to do with music. And I was like, just, you know, being dramatic about how pissed off I was about work and stuff. So I was just like, oh, I don't have anything to live for. Right. And I just like had a little internal giggle, expecting to hear my peers giggle as well. And then someone across the desks from me was like, whoa, Connor, are you okay? Like, Jesus, tell us how you really feel, sort of thing. It's like, don't ruin it like that. Like, that's so awkward when you do that. What the fuck is wrong with people?
What are you going to do when you grow up?
What do you mean?
What are you going to do when you grow up?
I'm a big boy.
It's a joke. What are you going to do when you grow up?
What am I going to do?
Die. Nihilism joke.
I appreciate it.
No, I do enjoy a good bit of nihilism. You know, I feel like I identify as a nihilistic boy.
Nihilistic boy. Boy. We're hunting deer.
But I like you. Anti-humour.
Yeah, exactly.
I say I like you. I'm like you. Is what I meant to say, but I don't know if my
you
brain.
like me.
I do like you, but I'm also like you in the
Yeah.
fact that I like dark humor, anti-humor, nihilistic stuff like that. You know, like fucking what goes plink plink fizz. Fucking what was it? Skinned baby or something stupid like that. I heard that as a kid, and I fucking almost shat my pants with how much I giggled. I wouldn't laugh at it now. I'm just like, oh yeah, edgy stuff. But all my friends around me were mortified, and I was like, what's wrong with you people, man? That was a funny joke. Because it would sound like that. I don't know. But like, I won't laugh at shit like that now just because I'm not an edgy boy.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Plus, dark humour now is just populated with racist jokes. Like, that's like a whole genre in itself. Why is it, latching onto dark humour?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So moving on to my last point before
Your
we
last
sign
point.
off. So I tend not to go on Facebook anymore. Generally, I'll just use the messenger to keep in touch with you. And
I've got it permanently pinned in my browser.
Yeah.
But not because I like to scroll through it and look at shit, just because I would message you through it.
Exactly.
And then on my phone, I've got it installed, but I never open it. I just use Messenger.
Yeah. I want to fully just delete Facebook and Facebook Messenger off my phone.
Yeah.
But we need a good chat alternative. At the moment, the best one we've got...
Persona 5 chat, mate. Let's do it.
The best options we've got are WhatsApp, which I'm not really interested in.
Yeah.
There's something just slightly inconvenient about WhatsApp, and I can't figure out what it is.
I think it's like the message latency. Like sometimes I'll message someone, and like no one's messaging anything for 5 minutes, and then my message will go out and it'll update, and then all these messages will appear above what I just said. I'm like, I didn't even fucking read that. Now I look like a twat.
Yeah. And PlayStation Chat, which I really like that. It's just got a few features missing.
Yeah.
That if it just develops a bit more, like I'll use it all the time.
Yeah.
But then obviously Facebook Messenger is how I keep in touch with my mum and my sister and stuff. So
yeah. Remember we used to use Yahoo Chat back in the day, didn't we?
And before that we used MSN. Because Yahoo was better than MSN at some point.
Well, I was always an MSN boy. Actually, ICQ was my first chat experience.
ICQ, fucking hell. I don't know what mine was. It was definitely not MSN. There was something else. Could it be AOL chat?
Club Penguin.
I think it was AOL chat.
Habbo
I had
Hotel.
it on a CD.
Habbo
Hotel, fuck me, man.
Yeah. But no, yeah. ICQ and then Messenger. MSN. Messenger.
Yeah.
And then for some reason you wanted to talk through Yahoo Chat, so
I
download that.
I don't have a clue why that was.
And then that was right at the start of our relationship. That was a fucking long time ago, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then obviously Messenger for Facebook comes out, and it's like
convenient.
Dominated, isn't it? Like fucking hell.
I just want.
Did we use Skype at some point as well?
For gaming.
But like we also use it like for text chatting every now and then.
Yeah, but only because we started using it for like gaming.
Yeah, and then went on to Discord a little bit, but then we stopped PC gaming.
Yeah.
Well, chat
Discord
things.
is very good for PC though.
Yeah.
Suppose you can get it on mobile, can't you? I don't know if that's really a convenient way to chat though.
But anyway, and like Google making a new chat thing that's supposed to rival WhatsApp.
Yeah,
maybe
but I think it's to rival iMessage, which is fair enough, I guess. Whatever.
But yeah, I'm with you. We need to do a better chat messaging service.
Yeah, that wasn't my original point actually. Facebook has started sending me notifications whenever anybody does anything.
Right.
Like yesterday, your sister posted a status. And I thought she tagged me in it or something because I got a notification about that status. But I went on it and it was just her fucking daughter's ill.
I like
that. Why am I being tagged about this? And that's happened like 4 times since then. And that was just in the past 3 days. Like they're just trying to force me to start using the platform again, and I'm not interested.
You get those messages through Messenger?
No, they're notifications on my phone.
Alright, fucking hell.
Also, if I get a message on Messenger, I'll get the notification for that. But if I ignore it for long enough, I'll get a notification from Facebook as well. To tell me I've got a message.
Do you have
waiting.
the Facebook app installed on your phone?
Yeah.
If you uninstalled that, would it get rid of those notifications?
It would, but can you use Messenger without Facebook?
Yeah.
Do you not have Facebook?
I do, because I had Messenger first, and then I installed the Facebook app because someone tagged me in something,
All right.
and I was away from my PC, and I was like, I can quickly just. Your laptop's trying to restart on me, bitch.
What?
Your laptop's trying to restart on me.
What the fuck?
It's alright. I'm picking another time. What time shall we set it for?
Well, I need to edit the podcast immediately after.
All right, so pick a time, quick.
I don't know. We're going to cinema at like 5, aren't we? 5.
5.
Yeah.
5:50.
Oh, yeah, do that. We've got to see Deadpool, boy.
There we go. For 5:50. That's where it's on.
Cool.
Right. Did you get to your original point? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah,
there.
it was just that Facebook's sending me notifications and it's...
Right, yeah. And yeah,
shitty.
you can have Messenger without Facebook because it's its own standalone app now. So
That's good.
you should do that.
I will do that.
But if anyone's out there listening that's really good with coding and you've got a team, let's make a universal Messenger app that's like good for everyone's device and good for everything.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to use WhatsApp. It's because fucking Facebook owns it, don't they?
Yeah. Do you know, there was the thing that I reminded myself of just then. I forgot what it's called, but there's an app now, right? And I see in a lot of YouTubers' videos, because you know how they're doing in-video sponsors and stuff, like just overlays and shit like that. And I see it in Jared Dines' videos a lot. And it's like a massive app for communities. Like, it's kind of like a Reddit, but completely app-based. So like if you're into like heavy metal, you can go into the metal section. You can make a board for like your genre of metal and stuff like that, and for each band and stuff. And you all just like pick up whichever board you want to talk about. If you want to talk about like Architect's band, you go into there and talk about it and stuff like that.
All right.
I forgot what it's called.
I've seen it as well. That was a while ago, but I haven't seen it since.
I've seen it a few times.
I think Shoe on Head.
Did she do something like that as well?
I think she promoted it in one of her videos.
So yeah, if we can get something like that,
Yeah.
but in Messenger format where it does everything. So if you want to use it for like organising games or movie nights, whatever, man, just chat service. That's great. That'd be awesome. Yeah. But
I agree. We need a more satisfying chat experience.
Definitely.
Well, I think that's it for today.
That will do it.
That will do it. Check us out on Twitter at UT2Cast. Don't throw me off like that. At UT2Cast. Well, everything's there. Everything's
links to shit there.
Yeah.
Like
every Friday, unless I forget. Sometimes I forget. Don't even fucking ask me. I don't know how I forget. I post the new podcast with a new image and then pin it to the top of the Twitter profile, so you won't miss it. As long as you go in within the week.
Brilliant.
Bye.
Yeah. Why am I turning around?
Stop doing that. Like you got out of the habit. And
I did. We're not recording in a long time, and it's your fucking fault.